stripers are finally reopened. It's been a really long 2 months without them. But stay tuned, let me show you what we'll be fishing for. Alright, so today we're going to be fishing just swim baits on 1/2 ounce jigs. Unfortunately, I got a fish kind of heavier than what I like. Typically, I like 1/4 ounce or even 1/8 ounce, but we have a ripping tide right now and a lot of current, which doesn't usually bode well for light tackle. But all I'm going to be doing is pulling myself up onto a ledge, dropping this down and just jigging it with the current, and maybe we'll get lucky and find some fish. So stay tuned. Oh, there's a fish. There we go. Whoa. I was falling asleep for a second there. Not a bad one. Not huge, but definitely enough to put a bend in the rod. There we go. All right, man. That's not a bad way to get the first fish of the day, right? Beautiful little backwater bass. The nice thing about these swim baits is as you're moving them on the bottom, depending on how you have them rigged, like I have mine that's working horizontal to the bottom, and you really don't have to do much because the action on the tail does really all the work that you need it to do. That's why, if you notice, like, I'm not going super crazy on the jig, just because I feel like the actual swimming motion of the bait does all the work that you really need it to do. There's a fish. Oh man, that guy was just sitting there. I must have dropped it on his head. I don't even think I hit record until he striked it. Man, jeez. This guy's got a little size to him, man. Much bigger than that last fish we had. I feel like he's gonna make another run as soon as he sees the kayak. Oh yeah, look at that guy. Maybe not. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he's much bigger than that last one. That's probably, if I had to venture a guess, heartbreak on a hook, I'd say like 26. Not that we're keeping any, and not that we're measuring them, just because I'm trying to limit the amount of time they're out of the water. But man, that is a beautiful fish. There you go. I'll be honest, man, that last fish makes me feel a little bit better. Another old-timer saying is that a lot of guys, I feel like in my area, live by, is that on a clear day, blue sky, sunny day, you can't catch stripers on artificials like this. I get that. I do agree in the sense that a cloudy day, lower light situation is more ideal for soft plastics, but I'm telling you, there's some of the old timers I grew up fishing and learning from would swear when the sky was like this, nice and blue, very few clouds, that you might as well not even go fishing. But we're gonna see if anything else is sitting in that little pothole. I'm gonna cast ahead. I'm gonna try and stay off of it because, man, we are really shallow slash tight quarters where I'm fishing, so I feel like less movement is better. Might not spook some fish. I'm wondering how many fish are just sitting in that little hole, because it is what I would consider an ideal spot for an ambush predator like a striper. Really put some pounds on. There's a fish. Let's go. I had a feeling there'd be one there. Let's go. This guy, oh, this guy's not too happy. We pulled him out of his hole. I had a weird feeling there might be a fish sitting there. Only reason being, with the amount of current there is, there's a little lip that a fish can just sit in, and when bait, minnows, shrimp, little crabs get washed out, they could just sit there all day, and it's like a buffet. Oh, that's actually not a bad bass for such a small area. Look at that. I mean, oh man, that good thing we netted him. He would have been gone. But you know, this creek can't be more than 20 feet wide, which is so cool when you're catching fish like this in little creeks. Let's get a look at this guy. Oh yeah, look at that. Man, that's actually not a bad bass for early season, and he looks healthy. Let's get you back in the water, buddy. Oh, man. There you go. I'll be honest with you guys, I do a lot of fishing, man, but it's so hard to top this type of fishing. Like real shallow, narrow creek fishing. You know, the fact that it's spring, you know, there's definitely some boats and kayaks out, but these creeks, man, there's rarely many people in here fishing just because of how shallow they get and the fear of running aground or getting stuck. But a lot of these creeks, man, hold fish. They're, you know, a little bit tucked away from the wind, especially in the spring when it seems like every day it's blowing like 30 miles per hour. Ooh, something just took a little strike at it. Hoping he'll come back. And one thing I'm finding, especially early on, as the water temperature, you know, is still relatively cold for the year, I try to slow my like jigging or how I retrieve the jig, just because it seems like these fish are a little bit more lethargic with that colder water. Once it warms up a tad bit, man, it will help, you know, pick up the bite, pick up the speed at which these fish feed. But right now, low and slow seems to be the ticket. At this point, I'm honestly like walking the dog, kind of following the current and trying to keep it tighter to the bottom, kind of make it look like a natural bait fish getting pushed out with the tide. Ooh, there's another one. Let's go. I feel like sometimes it's a patience thing, man. because I know there's fish sitting in these holes, but I feel like sometimes, man, they really need to be coerced. That's the second time I've ran over that same spot, and I've had 2 short strikes prior. Not saying it's the same fish, but you never know. Man, these little guys sure pack some punch. This guy I'm just gonna flip though. He ain't too big. Tell you what, man, though, he's giving me the best fight of all of them. The old striper flip. I'll tell you what, man, he's got some beautiful color on him. All these you know, backwater bass really are beautiful. There he goes. There's a fish. There we go. Going this way. Whoa. I have the line wrapped under his head. That's not good. Oh, there we go. Came free. There we go. Man, that guy's got some weight to him, man. Doesn't look very big in the water, but he's actually pretty heavy. You can tell he's been eating good in the neighborhood, man. Look at this guy. Whew. That's such a cool looking bass. All right, see you later, buddy. All right, I'm gonna drop here to start. See if we can hold bottom with a half. Gonna be curious if we can, because it's a lot of tide right here. Oh, we got a fish already. Let's go. I was afraid we weren't gonna be able to hold bottom here. What's funny is not a big fish to start the day, but definitely spunky. Man, I say it all the time, man. Those like 24 to 26 inch class bass, pound for pound, give you the best fight, man. They're just so freaking strong. They're so young that they'll give you everything they got. They're not like them old lazy bass and them big ones that people post online all fall that come so close to shore. Like, look at that. That's not a monster by any means, but pound for pound, that's like the fighting size bass you want. That one will give you everything it's got. Crazy too, because when I pull him in the boat, that ain't much of a bass, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna measure him because we ain't keeping none today, but I mean, look at this. He's not done yet. Yeah, that is a beautiful bass. Healthy looking thing too, man. There he goes. Figure this time of year, man, when the water's cold, they're a lot tougher than when the water's warm. But I try to minimize the amount of time that I keep them out of the water, you know, especially if you're not keeping it. If you're keeping it, it's, you know, total different story.